the scheme of things might be better your way.
All right, we're here with singer-songwriter Ken Gaines, and but you are much more than a singer-songwriter. Looking at your website, it seems like you're very involved in the whole songwriting scene in Texas.
Yeah, and I think you have to be. I mean, well, okay, you don't have to be, but I think it's to your advantage to be involved in what you would call the scene, because yeah, it's fun and it's very, very rich. We got a good variety of people in this state, and with a lot going on all over. So.
And what motivates that? Like what for you? What keeps that going? That interest? Because not every songwriter has an interest in the whole songwriting genre.
That's probably something real elemental with me, because I very early on in my life, I realized that songs were written, and I was one of those little kids who sat in front of the TV and learned a song from that Tennessee Ernie Ford was singing. But at the same time, I was also aware that those songs were written, so I was writing my own songs. They were always parodies of somebody else's songs, but it's something I was involved in as a little kid. So I think I always had that fascination. But then actually getting into it and, focusing myself on, all right, if you're going to be a songwriter and you're going to perform them, they damn well better be good. So that's part of it. That is, and so, with all this richness and everything, instead of going and reading a book about songwriting, first of all, you got to go write a bunch of songs, and secondly, you need to listen to even more songs and see how everybody else solves the problem in their own particular way. So that's all part of that fascination, and I will learn, and I will pick up, and I will glom onto a songwriter, somebody that I really admire, and I know I can learn something from, and have them as a mentor, whether they want me to or not, and see what I can get out of it. So.
A lot of people that are involved in songwriting or any art form aren't always aware of that the process is happening. Like, how old were you when you were watching Tennessee Ernie Ford?
Wow. Well, I don't think I was aware of the process then, but I was aware of singing. But I can remember learning 16 tons at 4 or 5 years old.
Really?
So yeah, I was one of those little kids, and Autumn Leaves and songs like that. Some of those songs they'll always be in my memory. The writing, I think I wrote my first song when I was in 3rd grade, and just kept noodling around with them, and depending upon who my friends were, who I was hanging around with, I might show them to them or not, because you don't want to get laughed at. But then when I started in junior high and high school, started picking up guitar, playing an instrument, I realized that it's a great way for a shy kid to meet girls, and
Nice.
And it worked, and I'm not nearly so shy these days.
Well, so what were some of the influences around that time, around the time you were in high school?
In high school,
Yeah.
God, see, that was a great time for me, because that was kind of the end of the folk scare and right at the beginning of late 60s, early 70s rock and roll. I graduated from high school in 1969. My freshman and sophomore year, I went to high school in Wiesbaden, Germany. My dad was in the Air Force. And so this kind of insular little community where our news was pretty much controlled by Armed Forces radio and television and things like that, and whatever we glommed from the German press. But it was this nice little insular community, and I was involved in the folk scene and just getting involved with my first rock band there. Well, we moved from there in the summer of '67 to Northern California in the summer of love, and I'm still reverberating from that move because it just I hooked up with some really cool people who said, well, all right, well, we're going to San Francisco here. There's you might want to see what's going on here, or we're running a light show in Marysville, California for Big Brother, and go with a light show, and I'm there, right there, meeting these people, and very quickly got involved with a rock band in high school, and was writing songs. Then realizing, probably at that point, I started thinking, maybe I better write better songs. But that was a real influential time for me right there, and I could say it was fortuitous, making that move and with that contrast.
That kind of passion for life, for change, for what you can do, that kind of optimism. Do you think it exists today in music?
Yeah, it exists. But I think it's tempered more now. Maybe that's a good thing. Yeah. And I have kids. Well, they're older than I was at that age, but they're idealistic. I have a son who is a creative poet, a performing poet. He's just started the Art Institute of Chicago. He's going after that dream. I've got, a son and his wife in the Peace Corps now in Cameroon. So yes, that type of thing exists, and it does exist in the music. Maybe it's a little bit more tempered, though. Maybe that's this old guy looking at it now.
And is there a process for you for writing songs that's fairly regular, or repeated patterns? Do you sit down with lyrics first, or do you strum your guitar? How does it go for you?
It goes lately. What happens is I have musical ideas that I have bouncing around in my mind, and then try to fit them into, start with a lyric idea that will fit that. But the process really for me is I never lack for ideas. I've got more than I will ever need now, and I keep coming up with more. I keep learning how to play guitar better. I keep learning more musically. I hang around with musicians who are better than I am, and I get them to teach me something. So the process is sitting down and writing the songs. Every time I set that time aside to sit down and work, I get work done. And if I'm able to have the time and set aside those sessions, nothing else, to go in and sitting and writing everything. In a string, I'm more efficient, and I like to be more efficient. But this, there's a lot more going on in my life other than just sitting down and writing songs. And so I have to measure that time out.
Do you? You have to be cognizant of your schedule, or life goes by and you haven't done any writing, that kind of thing?
Yeah, you have to, because it's a different spot in your mind. I don't know how else to say it. There's a different spot in your mind of performing, although that's related to writing. And when I'm onto a song, after a point, I try to quickly get to a point where I say, this is how I think I should perform this song. And of course, I do performing a lot on my own, so I work out a guitar arrangement, that makes it interesting. So, I take a song and move it into the performance area. But other areas like booking gigs, I'm my own booking agent, coming up with promo ideas, sending out your promo, and then once again going back and rebooking gigs, and that whole process is alien to the process of writing. So, but if you don't do that, you're not going to go out there and play.
We were talking earlier, and you said occasionally you are disgusted by the road. Are you ever disgusted, or have that aggressive negativity? Not negativity, but that feeling of, oh God, it's an uphill battle, say, to promote, or to, like you said, if you want to play, you got to do these things. Does that ever get to you?
It's gotten to me. It doesn't get to me so much anymore. I've come to realize that it never gets any easier. It never. None of it. Not the performance, not the writing, not the booking, not the road time. It never gets easier. It gets better. And that's what you look for.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Zach.
And,
Appreciate it, buddy.
Would you play a song for us?
You bet. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks.
No.
All right.
In the scheme of things, might be better your way. Than a dream of things we're both not ready to say. I know it's no lie for the likes of a lover like you. Call me a fool, but I still dream of you. Yeah, there I go again, talking my way out the door. Leaving you again, walking a hole in the floor. Crying that fool loves the road more than anything I do. So call me a fool, but I still dream of you. Call me a fool, I'm the last one to disagree. Call me a fool, better man and set you free. Just not a fool like me. Call me a fool, I'm the last one to disagree. Call me a fool, better man and set you free. Just not a fool like me.